So you've come for some more weapon ideas, huh? Well, you're in the right place. I could never turn you guys down. And after the massive success of the spy video, I'd be crazy not to make an immediate follow-up. If you couldn't tell by the title of the video, this is all about ideas I've got for everybody's favorite medical malpractitioner. While I might have more hours on Engineer, Medic is someone I'm always down to play, even if he does make me feel like pulling my hair out by the roots. But while Medic is great, did you know that he has the least amount of original weapons in the game? Let's remedy that by giving into our 7-year-long, no-update delusional psychosis by imagining some bullshit for him. Oh, and no special guests this time around. All the Medic mains that used to be on YouTube grew up, moved on, and got real lives. Plus, if you couldn't tell, the budget was just getting out of hand. However, I would like to give a very big shout out to my good friend, Overlord Lettuce, for helping me with balanced discussions for the following ideas and really peeling back the curtain and helping me to better understand how design philosophy impacts the creation process and how you need to think with community pushback in mind. His feedback was very helpful, and I encourage you all to check out their Steam workshop and social media pages. With that being said, let's move on. Tonight's episode of Whalen PK is brought to you by Builders League United. United together, we're building the Badlands. Hey, how's the viewer retention, by the way? Oh, good, perfect. Here's a new medigun that I've been cooking up for a while. Originally, I thought it could just be a stellar MVM upgrade, but maybe as its own weapon, it could be a little bit better. This is the Healing Gut, a new medigun that is capable of healing 2 patients at once, alternating between mouse 1 and 2. And if you're having trouble visualizing it, it works like Heavy's fists, where each mouse makes you punch with a different hand. The Healing Gut will work the same way. The Uber Charge also does not make you invincible, but rather gives you infinite ammo for your weapons while keeping you fully overhealed. By pumping bullets directly into your bloodstream, you can keep the fight going with health and ammo to spare. When healing only 1 patient, they're healed at a maximum rate of 45 health per second when in combat and 100 health when out of it. Thanks to its overcharged engine, it can heal 1 person no problem. When healing 2 people at once, however, the healing rate is cut down to 35 health per second when in combat and 55 when out of it. This gives Medic the ability to heal multiple people at once, yes, but I feel like it forces you to consider which patient needs medical attention the most, promoting a risk versus reward playstyle where you can choose to lump all of your healing onto 1 teammate or spread it around at a slower rate, but potentially covering more ground and dominating the field easier. Plus, I feel like it'll make your teammates like you. But with everything, it has its cons, and I'm sure the very idea of adding anything new to this game will drive some people wild with anger. So let me try to address some potential feedback and give my opinions. Of course, this idea does come with the risk of players potentially having a lower FOV. I'm going to give most players the benefit of the doubt that if they were going to equip this weapon in the first place, then they're gonna try to have the spatial awareness to look out for teammates and maximize their efficiency. Its Uber Charge being infinite ammo for 8 seconds is meant to be the crutch that potentially saves your unskilled Uber target who always seems to run out of ammo at the most crucial point. Yeah, this could be abused by power-hungry fools and produce overconfident, explosive morons that just shoot willy-nilly at anything that moves, but have you ever used the Kritzkrieg? I feel like this is more of a universal issue where, unless you're playing with more skilled friends, or you pull a rare 10,000 hour pro that knows what they're doing, you're gonna end up with an unfavorable Uber target. You just are, it's the name of the game. But it's something that can be helped with you as the medic taking responsibility, and yes, clearly communicating and coordinating with your team. Just like the quick fix, its overheal is cut in half when normally healing, but doubled when you pop. That way, sure, you can have all the bullets and rockets in the world, but you aren't totally unstoppable, which I feel like is a fair enough compromise. Sure, your rampage is susceptible to backstabs and a few headshots, but isn't that the allure of becoming a glass cannon? Your skill can let you avoid those moments where things get cut short and you fail to utilize an Uber. I've always wanted a medigun that has more practical utility. Yeah, Uber Charge is great and crits are always a reason to buy a new pair of pants, but what else is there? The Vaccinator? Get out of town, man. Nothing more fun than denying every class that isn't Spy the ability to play the game. Quick fix? Yeah, I love only being overhealed and maybe rocket jumping with my patients sometimes. I want something that encourages teamwork, something that encourages everyone to group up and play around the medic and treating him like the necessity pick that he is. If I can not only spread the healing around to more people, but also give them the ammo necessary to keep the fight going, because we all know that there isn't just ammo lying around all over the place, it could be great fun. in the hands of a really skilled player, I can see this totally reshaping the meta. Or it'll just get banned in comp like everything else does.
Tonight's episode of Whalen BK is brought to you by Red Shed Beer. If it's not from the shed, you're better off dead.
I've been using the Amputator a lot, and if you don't know what that does, I'll tell you. By taunting, you get to play a medicating melody that heals multiple allies in a large area around you. And that got me thinking, what if Medic had more AoE options? That line of thinking led to the creation of the Bubbler. The Bubbler is a special medigun that has two primary functions. Instead of a normal healing beam, the primary fire sprays out healing juices similar to Pyro's flamethrower. This will allow you to heal multiple people at once at a rate of 30 healing per second when in combat and 75 health per second when out of combat. It's capable of healing allies up to 550 hammer units away, a 100-point range upgrade to the stock medigun's 450. Its alt fire shoots out giant bubbles of healing goop that explode after hitting a wall or an object. The healing bubble functions similarly to the short circuit's alt fire, and any teammates in range of the bubble will be healed as well at an approximate rate of 15 healing per second. Any teammate near the bubble when bursting are given a quick 150 health, similar to the Crusader's crossbow, and it affects multiple people at once. This is designed to make Medic not as pocket-focused and able to move around quickly and avoid enemy fire while still giving his team the support they desire. Through my many rough drafts of this weapon, I realized that one of Medic's primary failings as a class, and problems to address with giving him new weapons, is his distinct lack of synergy with light classes. As a Medic, you really are incentivized and practically pushed in the direction of the bigger, tankier classes like Heavy, Soldier, and Demo Man. High health pools and high damage outputs make it a no-brainer on who you should pocket or glue yourself to, only leaving light classes as a last resort. Someone who gets left behind in the dust, someone you only heal when running back from spawn. But it shouldn't be that way. Hopefully, by restricting your ability to pocket, the Bubbler will encourage healing as many people as often as possible. Of course, all healing ranges and numbers are subject to change through playtesting, but if anyone watching has any ideas of their own, please let me know in the comments below. I'd love to workshop this stuff with you. With everything I've said in mind about addressing Medic's issues, it's ubercharged where things get really interesting, and I think that you guys will like it. Rather than make someone invincible or give them a boost or crits or anything, a valve at the top of the backpack sprouts up and begins expelling healing goop at an incredibly fast rate for 10 seconds. This will create a huge area of effect where allies are continuously overhealed. And since the medic gun doesn't have to be coupled to a teammate to work, the medic is still free to use his primary or melee weapons during the shower of healing. Medic's range during the healing rain is about 500 hammer units, larger than the max range of the Amputator's taunt, with the hopes of giving Medic a more mobile, AoE playstyle. My desire is to shake up traditional Medic norms and give new and old players a different way of playing support. As I mentioned previously, I designed this weapon to address Medic's primary shortcomings as a class and approached it from the perspective of modern shooter design. And if you really think about it, things like rage abilities, Soldier's banners, Pyro's oomph, and of course Ubercharge are essentially modern-day ults in other video games. Building up a power bar or some kind of meter to unleash a special attack or some kind of beneficial buff to you or your teammates, that's an ult. And TF2 laid the groundwork brick by brick. I believe that Medic, as the most crucial and important class in the game, should be the only person to receive anything close to the equivalent of an ult. I aim to bring that to TF2 with the Bubbler. I think the best kind of ults in things like Overwatch or Marvel Rivals are the ones that are designed to be quickly used and disposable. A quick shake up to the current state of the round, and I couldn't describe anything closer to that than the Ubercharge. One of the biggest mistakes I think Valve ever made was leaning into Demo Knight so hard that he became the only real subclass, while things like Stake Heavy, Battle NG, Combat Medic, Fat Scout, Gun Spy, and others just became irrelevant gimmicks that people will kick you for if you try to play. But if you really think about it, there is no such thing as a subclass. That's a term that we, the community, came up with that Valve wasn't really designing for back then or now. Demo Knight is a special case, don't get me wrong, but I really think they should have struck while the iron was hot and legitimized these alternate ways to play. We need something that packs more of a punch, something that won't completely demonize you when you try to play it, but something that isn't also so weak that there's no point in running it. And this is where I would come up with a cool new weapon, but at the time I really couldn't. This script went through several rewrites because I literally couldn't come up with anything for Medic until now. I thought about giving him a shotgun like how Medic has in the concept art and in TF Classic, but you can't just give TF2 Medic a normal shotgun, so that won't work. Even if my ideas were perfectly implemented and balanced by God themselves, it would still cause friction in the player base because when people see a medic, they expect someone that will heal and only heal, not run around on their own trying to frag and have fun. If I create something that is too strong while also having healing capabilities, it'll just devolve into a newer, staler meta. So I tried really hard to avoid those issues, and if I still didn't, hey, sorry, I tried. With the preface that all numbers will be determined by player feedback and testing and responses from the comments, I'd like to finally introduce possibly my most out there idea ever conceived. This is the Big Shot! It's Medic's newest needle gun, except it isn't a needle gun. Chopped together with some of Medic's old lab equipment and a spare Tesla coil, the Big Shot has two separate functions. The primary fire shoots a beam of negative healing energy that upon a successful hit, the Big Shot will then bounce off of your first target onto whatever poor fool he's standing next to, dealing 140 damage split between your two targets. The first hit will do 80 damage, the second hit will deal 60, and if there's nobody to eat the second bolt, the first target will only take the 80 damage. The Big Shot will be an energy weapon much like the Cowmangler. It'll have a 1.5 second wind-up time with 4 shots in the clip and, like all energy weapons, infinite ammo. But it has a hard reload, and if you don't know what that means, unless you have the weapon equipped, it won't reload. The secondary fire does the exact same thing, but instead, healing your teammates. It can bounce off to 3 people with 180 health split between the 3, with each teammate getting less health than the last, 80, 60, and then 40 to the last guy. So it all comes down to you, the medic. Do you save your shots for when the team is in danger, or are you going to use them frequently enough to keep everyone up to snuff?
The choices are yours, and yours alone.
I hope that with these weapon ideas, I've introduced some solvents to Medic's stale playstyles, and at the very least start a conversation about what Medic means to the player base and how the tools at his disposal often affect the outcomes in games you'd never thought about before. I tried to be a little more methodical in my approach than my older spy weapon concepts video, which I think reflects the length of the video, but I hope it was kind of entertaining. Oh, and if there's any TF2 Classic devs watching this, or any mod creators for that matter, if anyone is interested in making these weapon concepts a weapon reality, just hit me up. I'd love to talk shop about weapon balance and implementation. Thanks again to Overlord Lettuce for our many discussions and for drawing these weapons. So yeah, if you like their art, please see what they have to offer you. And I'd like to thank all of you for watching this video. Follow me on social media for more great opinions. Leave a like on this video, comment your thoughts, share the video with everyone you know, and subscribe for more. I've got a second channel where I play all kinds of video games, and I've got a Patreon if you're into the whole money thing. See you next time, Whalen Nation!